What's good, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and welcome back to WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. It is Day 7, and that means that once again, we shall have a vote from you guys. Now, this time, I don't want any controversy on counting up the comments and YouTube sometimes not showing me all the comments, etc., etc. Therefore, there will be a poll, kind of somewhere in this area, there will be a poll that you can vote on, that is a card, and that should show up on both desktop and mobile. Vote on the poll. Should there be 7 more days of this, or 7 days going back to Wrestling Revolution 3D? Vote in that poll. It should be somewhere on this video. Anyway, today, I learned a very important thing. If you close out Universe Mode and go do other things and come back to it, the matches change. So, unfortunately, Brock Lesnar, Austin Aries isn't even in here anymore. However, the rivalry matches of the two rivals do stay the same. So you can see here, these matches are different from yesterday, right? But Roman Green from Roman Yellow still in here. Also, Braun Strowman versus Cool Dad Triple H still in here. But it is Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So I will do these two. I will skip Roman and Roman again, and that will be our day for today. Falls count anywhere. Rollins defeats Rusev. Tag team match playa. The club wins. Ambrose, Jinder, Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews wins. The Usos versus Enzo and Cass. Usos win. Roman Green versus Roman Yellow. Roman Yellow is your victor. Perseverant. And let's hop into some Braun Strowman and Triple H. The last encounter between these two didn't even make it to the ring. So let's see how things play out on this episode of today, which is Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. Obviously, Raw was last night. SmackDown tonight from Sin City. SmackDown featuring Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And also the finals of the Mae Young Classic after SmackDown. I think after SmackDown and after 205. I'm not 100% sure on how they're going to handle that whole thing. But be that as it may, here we are. The Monster Among Men versus The Game with his sunglasses and his NXT t-shirt here on the show. And so, we have another announcement for 2K18. Because it seems like, even though we had 4 weeks, I think it was 4 weeks, of roster reveals, revealing the roster in chunks of like 45 guys or 70 guys or whatever it was, to give us our, 173 or 79 or whatever it is, right? Apparently, that wasn't everyone. And I don't mean DLC, because they just announced on the official WWE Twitter that Vince McMahon, because he's going to be on SmackDown tonight, that Vince is a playable character. And Vince was not in any of those roster reveals. So that, of course, begs the question, who else? Who else have they not announced for marketing purposes that will be a playable character in 2K18 in the lead-up here? We are just about a month away in the lead-up to that game. Because, obviously, I was quite annoyed at the very significant omission of the big hog, James Ellsworth. So perhaps he is definitely still playing. They just have not actually said the words, hey, he's in the game yet. So, fingers crossed to have Ellsworth in the game on day 1. We'll see. Anyway, moving on to other news before I move on to some Raw thoughts here. Because of, I usually get up and I see, okay, what are the big stories, what's kind of going on, what were the things that people were actually talking about, but obviously I don't watch Raw until tonight, so I don't have all the nuance that I might need to discuss, perhaps more important things or more, things to kind of, the little things, the tidbits, if you will. So, they did confirm the Big Show surgery deal, which was rumored that was why he was in that cage match and had that cage match spot and lost to Braun last week. Was because he needed some minor hip surgery. No replacement, nothing major, minor hip surgery. So that seems to be the case. It is now officially confirmed. Although knowing Big Show, and knowing what Big Show likes to do in his spare time, it is curious that Big Show's hip surgery, taking him off TV and off the road, conveniently lines up with Destiny 2 releasing. Because Big Show was a huge, and I mean that both figuratively and literally, a huge player, a huge fan of Destiny. So it's kind of, oh, the spine buster on the Monster Among Men. So it's just kind of funny how that all just lines up conveniently, that the game's out and PS, so's Destiny 2. And Braun gets pedigreed by cool dad Triple H. He's a cool dad. Got on sunglasses, yeah. Nope. Anyway. Elsewhere in the news, we have 2 dates announced for December. All this time spent talking about the fabled and mythical India tour. There are 2 dates in December where they will have matches, you know, a card, a live show. I can't talk today. A live event in India this December. And, of course, the big part of that, oh, Triple H is pissed, is that it's for the Raw brand. So all this time, so it's like, oh, they're going to have an India tour. That's why they're keeping the belt on Jinder. And the Raw brand is the one who is going to India. Now, they've done these Super Show type deals before. Oh, no DDT for you. So it would not surprise me to see at least a couple of SmackDown superstars ending up on that show, on that card, you know, when they would do those shows in India. That would not surprise me if that were the case. Because can you really go to these shows in India when you have Jinder as your champion and then not include him in some way? Like, that would just be wrong. It'd be wrong. You have all this time with him as champion for what? Like, at least have him go speak his language to his people. Come on now. Alright, here's Big Braun doing the big thing. Running power slam. The Oklahoma. Can I pin Cool Dad? 2, 3, and there we go. The Monster Among Men gets his win. And we can break out, because of course, this is Braun Strowman, and being Braun Strowman, you know, he's not finished with you. Come on now. You should know better. He is not finished with you. Anyway, moving on. Oh, that was a bit of a... Okay. Moving on. I want to see if I have a table spot for Braun. I want to see if Braun can do that table business, if you will. Because, you know, he's known for his feats of strength and etc. etc. And not really enough time to go traipsing around the arena, wouldn't you know. Into the table. I am the table. No, into the table. There we go. R1. R1 and triangle. Chokeslam? Chokeslam. Good God Almighty! As God is my witness, he is broken in half. Braun! And your main event for the evening and this show. We have a rematch from WrestleMania. We have Brock Lesnar. We have Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, now wearing a t-shirt. And Brock Lesnar, very misunderstood. He just wants to hug you. Unfortunately, it always turns into a suplex. Uh-oh, pre-match cutscene. What could it be? What could it be? Oh no, it's Bo Dallas. The social outcast, Bo Dallas, is here to watch the match in a cutscene I've seen literally dozens of times playing through 70 hours of my career. Just want to hug you, boy! Anyway, moving on to Raw. Kalisto was on Raw, so Kalisto still employed, still exists. How is he still employed and still existing? I just want to hug you, boy. And not in the Cruiserweight division on 205 Live. Like, those guys had matches on Raw, so what are you doing to Kalisto? Just wondering. Also, what are you doing to Goldust? You have him do a thing with Bray Wyatt, and Bray, like, takes his makeup off. Look, I understand. You don't have that many guys doing the full face paint, so it makes sense to further the angle with Finn Balor. But at the same time, Goldust was a heel, and he was supposed to announce his greatest creation at SummerSlam, and then nothing. Nothing happened. There's your cutscene. There's your usual, oh, got the leg. Got the leg. What you doing, boy? And here comes Roman to take advantage of that situation. Elsewhere, Asuka comes to Raw, or, you know, she's announced for Raw. There was a lot of, certainly speculation in terms of which brand that she was going to be on, and it seems like we have a decision has been made. So to every woman on Raw, no one is ready. No one's ready. So I think the popular opinion was that she would definitely end up on Raw, but now it is 100% confirmed as of last night. And then finally, just look, I don't know if it's just lately, or it's just lazy writing, or they've been doing a lot of things that make me, as someone who follows this business, who follows wrestling obviously a lot more closely than the average casual fan, right? That when they get into supposed backstage stuff, or things that have been rumored, or things that actually happened that weren't really discussed on TV, they, will make references. Like Cena referencing Roman failing wellness. We got Miz referencing Enzo being thrown off the bus. That kind of stuff, right? And punch you why. And that makes the audience in attendance pop. And that makes people like me who are just, in the internet wrestling community go, oh man, I can't believe they actually went there. But I think we've seen long term, that doesn't really sell more tickets. That doesn't really put more butts in the seats, as it were. And that's, I know it's a very old school way of thinking about it, but building your feuds on referencing things that happened off TV always seems strange to me. Like, they're trying to break the fourth wall and make it meta and make it personal. And yeah, sure, that crowd popped like crazy when the Usos referenced the Paige and Xavier tape. That was like a holy crap moment. But at the same time, I don't think it really necessarily, helped to really sell things to the average fan. Now, you would imagine that was reasonably big news, so that may have actually worked. But bringing up stuff that the average person watching the show, who just is watching the show and not, super involved in keeping track of everybody and what they do backstage, I don't necessarily think that it's actually helping your ticket sales any more than it would, certainly from some of the photos I saw from Raw last night not being sold out. That boy's a hugger. Just wants to hug you. Just wants to hug you. It just keeps turning it into a suplex and an F5. I'm sorry, boy. Yep. Suplex City. Suplex City. I don't know. That's just my personal thought on the matter. Like, it makes me laugh every time, but at the same time, from a business perspective, I find it to be strange. Because you're expecting a wider audience to have an all-encompassing knowledge of what's going on with every facet of the wrestling business, whereas a lot of the audience are not going to spend the time and the effort, and they're not constantly consuming wrestling content 24/7 like all the hardcore fans who are reacting to those things are. Okay, Roman Red came to the corner of Roman Yellow, giving him an unfair advantage against Roman Green. We had Bo Dallas antagonizing Brock Lesnar. But even then, being a hardcore fan and hearing the things like Cena calling Roman a corporately made champion, and I'm like, you're John Cena. That's literally you for the past, 15 years. Like, John Cena making the reference to wellness went, look at John Cena. He's 40. Do you think at 40 that's all natural? Come on now. And if there's one thing we learned from Brock Lesnar getting busted last year in UFC, they don't test part-timers, and Cena's a part-timer now. Do the math. Anyway, that's my show for the day. Tomorrow could be more of this, or tomorrow could be back to another week of Wrestling Revolution 3D. Be sure to go vote in that poll when it showed up 15 minutes ago, or whatever it was. I'm Attack Slug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day. See you next time, right here on this channel, and I'm out.